half race, and I'll quickly run you through the lineup. And from the very inside, we have Dean Miller of Barrow and Furness. Then we have Dean Richardson of V40 from the City of Stoke. Jonathan Shields, an under-17 from the City of Sheffield. James Straw, an under-23 from Lincoln and Wellington. Jake Longsdale, an under-17 from Preston. Oliver Park of Cambridge and Coleridge. Harry Foster, an under-20 from Notts. Harry Lane, an under-23 from Yeovil. And Adam Sims of Gateshead. Josh McHugh it is, who's been asked to do the pacemaking duties. So quickly after his 800-metre exploits, he's back on track, and he's been asked to go to 400 metres in 63 seconds and maintain that pace so they reach 800 metres in 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So Tom, I know you've got a little bit of a personal insight on a couple of athletes we can maybe looking out for in this race.
Well, Dean Miller's an interesting one. Just at the back there, he's going for a time of around 4:15 to 4:18 today. I think he's got European Championships himself at the end of the season, and so he's looking to sharpen up for that. Also, Harry Lane in this race was actually in Kenya earlier in the year for altitude training. When I was there, and was training a lot with Laura Waitman there. I think he was sort of helping pace a lot of her sessions and did a great job with that. I think he struggled with injuries at the start of this season, but he's hopefully coming through now, and he's got one of the quicker PBs on paper, I think, in this race. So hopefully he can have a good performance here and take home the victory.
Certainly, roughly the pacemaker seemed to be spot on. The pacemaker went through in about 62, so that means the majority of the field went through in 63. Apologies, one athlete I didn't call out, and he's the current race leader, which is Howard Wood of the Sheffield Club. So it's Wood who currently leads from Sims. That's the current top two, and we'll look to clarify a few more of the places when they come round into better viewing. But as we've talked about, Tom did mention quite clearly there, slightly two different races going on. Dean Miller, one of the Paralympians from London 2012. It's great to see him in this BMC event, and he has a separate pacemaker who's been asked to run around about 68 seconds, we understand, from Twitter, the social medium, where Dean was asking for help. So we understand that's the pacemaker. But the current task of 63 seconds should bring these athletes home in around about 3:55, 3:56, and it's
Dean Miller coming through there, bang on 68 second pace, which is what he wanted. I'm glad he's managed to find a pacemaker. He actually is a training partner of Hannah England in Birmingham, so it's a shame he couldn't call in a favour with her to get her to help him out for a change. But at the front of the race, it's still the same top three. I think Harry Lane there sat in second, hasn't done any work so far, so he should be fresh going into this last lap.
Certainly is. That's the way it's looking. It's looking to be a very exciting last 400 metres. So Tom's talking us through that third bit there. But as they approach the bell, it looks as though Sims leads from Lane, from Howards. They certainly look as they're going to have to rally maybe to make sure that they get under 4 minutes, but this would be a big improvement for a lot of these athletes. If we're looking down on paper, none of these athletes in the field have gone inside 4 minutes before, so that would be a fantastic result. Harry Lane's the closest. He has a lifetime best of 4 minutes and 1:03, which he set last season. But Adam Sims, the Gateshead Harry, are beginning to stretch out down that back straight, but he can't shake off Lane. Lane it is, who, as Tom's pointed out, he's not shown his face too much near the front. He's always stayed in the slipstream. And will that look to pay dividends over the last 150 metres? But Sims is beginning to look very strong. Certainly big gaps beginning to open up now. So Wood has dropped back dramatically there. But is that maybe an appreciation of how quickly the lads out in front are moving? It's going to be awfully close to that 4 minute barrier. It's that magical barrier. And as we talked about, Harry Lane puts on the afterburners. Really good finishing speed here. There's a lot more left in the tank. He's going to be mightily close. Look at him. He's grimacing all the way to the line. It's going to be close. I think he's done it. He lets out a huge yelp. I'm pretty sure that confirms he was inside 4 minutes, maybe 3:58.59. Sims it was who came through into second, and Wood it was who hung on in for third there. But as we talked about, Tom, you've got a great insight there. He's a lad who's been out training, working very hard in Kenya. And I'm not sure if you remember the first time you broke 4 minutes for 1500, but I certainly do. It's always one of those barriers that, as a middle distance athlete, you're looking to tick off. And Harry Lane is delighted with that result, or maybe a little. I can't quite make it out. He certainly looked very happy when he crossed the line.
I think he's pleased with that. As I said, he told me he had about 7 weeks off earlier in the season with a hip flexor injury. So that's really good to see. He's managed to come back from that, and obviously still holding on to some of that strength that he developed in Kenya earlier in the year. And also Dean Miller put in a great race there, and I clocked him just under 4:15, so really good performance.
Wow, so apologies that I didn't direct any attention to that, but that's a fantastic performance there from Dean Miller. Particularly really want to highlight that from one of our leading one of our leading Paralympians. Set a new personal best this season of 4 minutes and 18 exactly, and I like to say